Heard of TravelX?
I haven't.
So it's a airline platform. I believe it's located in like South America, and they're using it to with NFTs. So they have like NFT plane tickets. They call them NF tickets. So that way you can like buy a ticket and then you have like ownership of that ticket. So if you need to resell it, change flights, it has a lot of flexibility without the fees.
Hi, everyone. Today we have an esteemed guest. Sewell, can you introduce yourself?
Yes. How's everyone doing? My name is C. Will. I'm a content creator and a co-host of the Next Block podcast, where we speak about cryptocurrency, current events, and stock or crypto overall. And then we do a lot of interviews. So it's good to be here.
Perfect. Thank you for giving us the time. I saw like you have like extensive experience like in the crypto space, but especially Algorand. Like Algorand is actually very interesting, especially like obviously the speed of the network. So can you tell us a little bit about like how does Algorand works?
Yes, so Algorand, yes, it's definitely a fast blockchain. So I'll go back. Algorand is founded by MIT professor Silvio Macaulay. So he's a cryptographer with a lot of experience just in math and those type of technologies. And then so Algorand compared to like a blockchain like Bitcoin or Ethereum is, like 100 times faster, I would say. It has a block time about 3 seconds or less, meaning like when you want to send an asset or do a transaction, it's pretty much done instantly. And it's very speed similar wise to like how we would feel if we were using a debit card or a Visa card. And then it's also very affordable and cheap. So I think what's important about Algorand is that anyone in the world could use it based on speed and pricing. So it doesn't get ingested, or if you use a blockchain like Ton recently crashed when they had some type of coin launching or NFT launch, and it was just too many things happening at one time. So Algorand is like fit to do a lot of transactions at once.
I see also like especially the NFT scene have been like popping up like at least in the last couple of years, like in Algorand,
Mhm.
have been like a lot of projects are launching there. So what can you tell us like about the NFT scene on in Algorand?
So the NFT scene is very interesting. So there's a few different marketplaces that people use. I mean, one of the big ones right now is having a rewards campaign going on. It's called Exa Market. And so Exa Market is, I'll say, my favorite NFT marketplace to use. And then there's a lot of creators throughout that make the PFP projects and all the way to like the gaming platforms as well. So the NFT scene has been growing a lot over the years. It had its slow times, just like when it was the deep bear markets. That was like what, about a year ago. A lot of things were slower, but as sentiment in the space right now is picking up. So there's a one that I like a lot. It's called non-fungible domains, and it's basically the like naming service. If you heard of Ethereum naming service, so they come in the form of NFTs. I have a cwill.algo. So it's a name where you attach to your wallet. You can send, assets there. You don't have to worry about like stringing of the numbers and things of that nature. So non-fungible domains is one I would definitely check out. And then Fractal Monsters is a gaming platform that they use NFT characters, and they have NFT they're like monster type creatures that they use to play in the game. So by owning those NFTs, you can then play the video game there. So there's a few platforms like that are out. And then another one I like is by Kimchi, a creator named Kimchi Block. That's his like Twitter handle, and it goes by Bambino NFTs. So it's like a cross-chain profile pic, and then so it's on natively on Algorand, but he has also done partnerships over with Avalanche blockchain. So those are a few off the top that I like, and yeah, it's growing. A lot of things are happening, and there's also the Coinbase is doing Quest as well. So Examarket is one of those platforms. If you use it, you would get like extra incentives right now. It's a lot happening.
See, so I remember a couple of years ago, there was like some rumors or like at least some promises from the foundation that maybe in the future there will be like more like the community will have more say in the governors. So right now, like, is this already happening or not yet? Like for example, previously, like you are able to download the node and run the node yourself, but maybe not like actually become like a validator. Is this like what is the condition now like for the network?
Yeah, so now that part is really close. So right now they have something called XGovs, like a ex governor like a special governor that has like voting power. So for example, I think it's 4 times a year. They have Algorand governance 4 times a year. And then algo holders who register, you register your algos. It's like a soft staking, so you don't send them anywhere. They stay right in your wallet. And you register, and then you have the ability to vote on different things that they came up with, which would be like giving rewards to like a DeFi platform, or incentivizing NFT trading, or giving out like, things of that nature, like mostly incentivizations. And then what you're talking about is the nodes. People are running nodes right now, but supposed to be by the end of this year, they should be incentivized. So yeah, I think the number is like close to maybe 30,000 algos. So you have 30,000 algos, you download the software on your device, and then you run the node. And I think people can also delegate to you. All of that is coming this year, but I don't think it's live yet. Just the governance voting is live, which I've been participating, and it's been pretty interesting. Yeah, I'll say.
Interesting. So how about the fees? Like you mentioned the low fees. I think previously the fees were fixed. Maybe it was like zero point 0.1 Algorand or something like that. So right now, how many algos do you need to pay for any transfer? Is it
I
flex?
think I think it's still fixed at point like 0.001. So overall, for the US dollar wise, it's like 1/10 of a penny. So like very cheap. Like right now, there's a platform called Travel X. If you heard of Travel X.
I haven't.
So it's a airline platform. I believe it's located in like South America, and they're using it to with NFTs. So they have like NFT plane tickets. They call them NF tickets. So that way you can like buy a ticket, and then you have like ownership of that ticket. So if you need to resell it, change flights, it has a lot of flexibility without the fees that would traditionally. So they're doing a lot of flights, and that is allowing them to like, move as much as they want because the fees are so low. And then they have like platforms that do like sensors. I think Planet Watch was one of them. It may have migrated recently, but it's been on Algorand for many years, and they have like sensors that track like air quality. And then they just send out, thousands of these sensors. And the reason it is possible is because of that 0.0001 algo fee, which is really cheap though.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is. I
Yeah.
think that the only maybe thing that people are maybe questioning about, like in the future, obviously, if algo value goes up, then this, even though it's a small fraction, it could be a significant number in the future. But I think this would be like maybe it will take a while for it to be of any significant value. So
Yeah.
it's like still very cheap. Perfect. How about for the DeFi space in general, not just NFTs? Like, do you see Algorand maybe becoming something like a competitor to, because Ethereum is like doing a lot of heavy lifting with all these new chains
Hmm.
that are basically lowering the fees a lot, like Arbitrum and Optimism. So is Algorand like, because it's already low fees, like it doesn't need to have any side chain or anything of that sort. So how does it contribute in the larger DeFi ecosystem? Like
So
in,
that's a great question, because I think, like you said, Algorand is already low feed. It's very easy to use. I'll talk about some of the problems that people have talked about, is that there isn't much liquidity for like a Bitcoin or Ethereum derivative, or a wrapped Bitcoin or a wrapped Ethereum. And that's what most people do like to trade. So if you compare it to, you said L2s, Coinbase dropped a L2 called Base. And I see that that one is getting a lot of attention because I think the name recognition with Coinbase, plus it's an Ethereum layer two. So they have reduced the fees there, and there's a lot of liquidity. So Algorand is missing out, I believe, on just the liquidity for Bitcoin and Ethereum. But what I do see is good for Algorand is that they have USDC on there, and it's good farming for USDC if you want to, get a yield. I think that is very important. And they're also working on some type of payments, which we could talk about later. But overall, I think Algorand can be a great place for DeFi in general, because of the smoothness to the transaction, instant finality, and the fees are like really low. But again, I think liquidity would be the only, hindrance or thing right now. But
you
I'll name a
mentioned
couple. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned USDC is from Circle, right? Like, is it also like
Circle.
on Algo? Is it like on Algorand? Is it managed by Circle, or is it like just like a derivative of the USDC?
It's managed by Circle, so they minted on Algorand, and you can also, I think Algorand is like one of maybe 10 chains that you can go straight from, like, buy it on Coinbase and you can send it directly to Algorand. And that was a new thing that happened recently because before you would have to buy Algo, send it, and then swap it on a DEX. But now you can go straight from there. So I think that right there was a game changer. So it's just like, Ethereum, just like Avalanche, Stellar, XRP, all of them natively have the Circle USDC.
So I think this also gives like it improves the position of Algorand in the whole DeFi ecosystem because having this instead of like a derivative like actually managed by Circle or minted by Circle, it's very good. So right
Mhm.
now for Algorand, like do you see the like more adoption or like because there was like a couple of years back there, especially in the last bull run, it was like much more in the news cycle. But right now, maybe it's like not a lot of people are actually talking about Algorand. Some people, even newcomers to the space, don't know what is Algorand. Do you think that
Yeah.
this is might change? Because actually, Algorand is like almost one of the so at CoinExams we basically rank coins based on utility, and Algorand is one of the best, has been for a while.
Yeah.
So in terms of utility,
This episode is sponsored by DegreeSign.
CoinExams platform was purpose-built by DegreeSign to be one of the best-performing platforms in the crypto space.
DegreeSign is an agency developing web products with a long experience of building products from scratch for maximum performance and stability.
Start today. Just email make@degreesign.com.
so you think that this aspect of utility is going to have a comeback, especially that people now are looking more into in depth? Like previously, maybe there was like some hype in general, but now it's like more about the utility and like what can this chain do for me, this benefits. So what do you think? Like, is it going to be maybe there will be like some other hype cycle for Algorand or maybe like more adoption?
So I think the adoption for Algorand, and this is something I seen years ago and it's slowly happening, it's payments. Like if Algorand stays on the path of payments and like real world assets, so they have something dropping with this startup called Immersive, and and the Immersive works with Mastercard. So essentially, you can use your Algorand Para wallet, and it's like a bank account, and then you have a digital debit card that you can use that pulls out USDC. So it's essentially you're going into a store, you're using your phone to pay with your MasterCard, but it's connected to your Algorand wallet and it pays in USDC. That right there could be the game changer because what I see Algorand, how smooth and fast it is, like I would like to go get some coffee and just use USDC, right? That I think that would be very important if they can roll that out properly and let people know like, hey, this blockchain is good for payments. And then the other thing, they got a platform called Lofty AI that helps you facilitate real estate buying. So you can buy fractional real estate. Tokens are like $50. You can go straight from your Coinbase account and then take the USDC, send it to your Algorand wallet, and then you can purchase real estate directly via this platform. So things like that, I think if they're marketed properly and they let businesses know that, hey, you can pay on the blockchain, you can have bank accounts and savings accounts. Because I know I'm in the US right now. We don't have much issue with banking or anything like that, but a lot of other countries do. And I'll talk about one more project. I met the founders Hisab Pay out in Afghanistan, and they're essentially doing that. They're using Algorand blockchain for payments out in Afghanistan, which I do know that they don't have great banking over there. So if they promote that project between the NF tickets with TravelX, Hisab Pay, and Lofty AI, and then the immersive, those four things, if they just blast that every day, I think that would change the narrative because those are ones that are very useful and is more important, I believe, than DeFi or NFTs in that aspect of blockchain.
Yeah, you're correct, actually. Especially, I never heard about this one in Afghanistan because it could affect, like, or at least help millions of people directly
Yes.
if it gets wider adoption.
Yeah.
And also, it's like basically, so Algorand is like basically everything that, for example, in the Bitcoin community about Lightning, it's like everything
Yeah.
of Lightning and even better because it's like already native on the minute, like basically
Mhm.
the base layer. So it's very
Yep.
so right now for Algorand there will also like maybe some government projects or something to do with the CBDC that was announced back in the time like some research projects Have these gone anywhere, like regarding the government cooperation with the foundation?
I'm not sure about CBDCs. I feel like there isn't much talk about it. I do know they have two different, I guess they call them electronic money tokens. One of them is the Euro D, like the Euro, I think that's a way to say it, Euro D. And they have regulation throughout Europe with like MiCA and all those different like compliances, right? So they have basically a European stable coin called the Euro D by trying to think of not Stasis. Stasis Euro is another one, but it's slipped my mind right now. But Euro D is out there in Europe, and I see that would be the closest thing to a CBDC. But
So
otherwise,
it's on the Algorand blockchain.
yeah, it's on the Algorand blockchain. And I think because from my idea, the CBDCs, or my understanding is that they're more centralized kind of. So there is a lot more like rules and things you have to follow using those, unlike Circle. And but yeah, so they do have that. And yeah, I just can't think of the name right now. But if it come back to me, I'll say it. But the Euro D.
So basically, just to understand, so this is a coin or a stable coin issued by the like European
Quantos, there we go. Quantos. It's called Quantos.
So this Quantos is it like a private entity, or it's like a government private partnership?
It's a private entity that is doing partnerships with government. Like they have all the compliances, they're approved all throughout the European and like Western countries other than the US. So like all of Europe, they're approved.
So it's slightly similar to what Circle is doing, because Circle is also like audited and approved, like
yes,
the USDC. I see.
Yeah, very similar. And Circle also, they just dropped the Euro stable coin as well. So they got the US dollar stable coin and the Euro. So yeah, it's pretty much similar to Circle, I would say.
So if someone wants to get involved in the Algorand blockchain, what is the best wallet that they should maybe like the best to support the Algorand?
I would say use Para Wallet. That's, PERA, Para Wallet. And then the second option, I would go with DeFly, DEFLY, DeFly. But I use Para Wallet. It's one of my favorite.
Is Parallel Wallet like, is it like a community project, or it's by the foundation?
I think the foundation has purchased it, or they bought stake into it. Because Para Wallet used to be called Algo Wallet or Algorand Wallet, and they've been like funded with grants and investments from like Algorand investors. And then eventually the foundation, I think, purchased it. And so they kind of absorbed it. So it's backed by the Algorand Foundation. So I think it's one of the top things to use.
And is the foundation like still have enough funds to continue the development, or or just like tries to attract like maybe venture capitalists?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They do drop transparency reports every quarter now. So one of them should be coming out soon. But I'm not sure about that question.
And regarding the staking, is it still going on? Like you can stake your Algorand inside the wallet immediately, and you can
No. You have to participate in governance. Governance is that thing I was talking about earlier, where you get 4 times a year, you sign up, you like do a soft staking, and then you have to vote. And then whatever say you staked 1,000 algo, you have to leave those algos in your wallet for that whole 3-month period. And then you have to also vote. And once you do both of those things, you would then receive staking rewards. So you got to work for it.
So the automatically getting rewards, like as before, like you just have a balance, you get a reward. This is already discontinued.
Discontinued.
I see. So
yeah, and I miss it. I'm like, they should bring it back. But
yeah, interesting. Actually, this makes more sense and more sustainable. And because also obviously they don't have unlimited funds. Like one of the good things about Algorand is that like there is like limited supply. So yeah, very, very good and interesting. So also like going back to the DeFi and the NFT space. Like, do you see that that this also like growing? Like a lot of projects are moving, for example, from Ethereum or maybe some other chains to Algorand, or is mostly like mirroring just a project, or like trying to port a project just like as maybe like derivative of the other projects on other chains for Algorand? Like, is there any big projects that are natively on Algorand?
I would say I think Fractal Monsters is one of them. But what I'm seeing is that it's like the opposite. It's like a project like Fractal Monsters, for example, is now their base is Algorand, but they're also migrating to Immutable X. Then I'm seeing a lot of them starting on Algorand, and they're kind of doing the whole cross-chain narrative, going to AVAX, going to Base. So it's like they're starting on Algorand and they're migrating out. And I think what they're trying to do is to do this by like going to those other chains and then bring users back, I feel like is the play there. But I don't personally see a project that's on another chain going to Algorand. I think it's the other direction.
I see. Maybe it's also like having this low fees is like reduces the barrier to entry, so any new user can basically interact with any project very easily.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So if we zoom out like to the whole crypto space, because you also like have some experience with the covering a lot of other topics. So how do you see the market right now? Like, are we still like in a bear market, or what is your thoughts on the whole market in general?
How I see it is that the bull market has already happened, right? Bitcoin since 2023, January 2023, it's been, going up higher in prices, and it hit an all-time high in like April or something with 70,000. And big Ethereum has not. So I think if between those two, you don't get your bull market unless those two assets are moving. So I feel like right now we're just in a sideways market. That's what it seems like that all the data says. I don't think we're necessarily in a bear. I just think a sideways market, because what I have been noticing is that crypto is becoming more tied to the stock market, kind of like when the S&P 500 or like when Nvidia does well, it seems to translate to Bitcoin. And then if Bitcoin does well, all the other altcoins do well as well. So I see a sideways market. We could have more downside. I'm not quite sure, but I don't see, a full on bull market. I think that was up until April. That was happening in April.
So you don't see maybe a bull market coming up soon, maybe in the next couple of months?
Not really. I don't see it. Not at all. Because if, we got in the US, we got the elections coming up, and historically the elections does make the stock market go up higher, right? So I would think if Bitcoin hits an all-time high, like goes past 70,000, maybe to 80, 90,000, I think that would then translate to the rest of the market. So I think it all depends on what Bitcoin does.
And do you see this Bitcoin dominance or like this Bitcoin sway on the market? Do you see it changing anytime soon? Like, do you foresee it changing?
No, I don't. Because we just got, in the US, we just got the Bitcoin ETF, which was doing pretty well. So you got companies like BlackRock, MicroStrategy, ARK Invest, they all supporting Bitcoin. And then they recently launched the Ethereum ETF, which I think is doing decent. So I think all the tension is still on the two big dogs right there.
Yes. And back to Algorand, do you see Algorand maybe moving into the big like market caps, like maybe in the next bull run? Like, do you see like this is possible since it's like one of the best chains in terms of utility?
I don't know about that, because that's the part that is a tough question, because I agree, like most people, if you go use 20 chains, right? Try them all out, and then you try out Algorand, you do be like, this is a lot smoother. It's a lot better. But I think, again, it comes down to hype still with crypto, unfortunately, hype and narratives, right? And if people are not just like excited to be like, I can make, multiple X's on my money, they're still only looking for that right now. Because this year, like Solana still has the attention with all those meme coins, and people are basically turned Solana into a casino. And Algorand's not a casino type of environment. So I feel like once that casino energy dies down, then Algorand has the ability to get more attention. So I'm not sure.
Like maybe Algorand is like more of a long-term play. Like it could be like maybe in the future it will have like much more dominance or like a position in the market. Very interesting.
That's what I think. Yeah. Because I still think it's great. It's by far my favorite blockchain to use. But I have to say, too, there's other chains that I have used that are close or some type of similar, like Injective, if you ever heard of it. It's in the Cosmos ecosystem. Fees are almost free. They're almost zero. It's very fast. And that blockchain is built for finance. So and then I know SUI and Psy, they're competitors. They're not exactly the same, but there are other good chains out there too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of like also innovation in the space in general. Algorand was like the OG of innovation in terms of the low fees and fast settlement. But yeah, there's a lot of competition now. So
Yeah.
it's very interesting market at the moment and space. Perfect. So if people want to reach out to you, like other than the YouTube channel, what other channels do you want to shout out?
So I got the Next Block channel, the Next Block. We on Twitter and YouTube, and then I have Passive Income Network. On that channel, it's mostly, there's some crypto on there still, but it's mostly like stocks and businesses, like entrepreneurs that I interview on that channel and talk about that side of the market. I love the stock market, I love the cryptocurrency, and then I love entrepreneurship. And then my personal channels are Will PDX, SEAWIL PDX, and that's on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all of those channels.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much for your time today. Have a nice day. Bye.
Appreciate you.